Hello, I'm Taylor Tampi OTC channel. This is just going to be a quick little stream, so it'll count more as a video rather than a stream, but I'm doing it in a streaming format. But I wanted to answer the question, do I still love Star Wars? I think the word should be like. Do I still like? Because my love has dwindled over the years. I do not care for Star Wars as much, even though I have a lot of Star Wars stuff. I should show you my collection sometime in general. But I did want to answer this as well as to talk about a few reasons why I don't give a crap about Star Wars as much as I used to. Hell, I would probably rather watch Star Trek stuff. uh, at least with that, I don't hear nearly as much is bad coming out of Star Trek compared to Star Wars. Star Wars needs to step up their game. Star Trek is literally your competitor in a way. And this is the kind of crap you're doing that I'm about to get into. Um, yeah, like, so first off, I thought it was a good point to bring out. We don't really get any parodies anymore, Star Wars wise. Any at all. Like, we had Spaceballs, Thumb Wars, we had the Family Guy stuff, we had frickin' the Family Guy Star Wars stuff, the Robot Chicken Star Wars stuff. Like, there's nothing. The only thing my friend brought up was Phineas and Ferb, and I was just like, I don't watch that. I don't give a crap. That's one thing also. This is like 8 things I've already named. I think there were 3 Family Guy Star Wars specials and 3 Robot Chicken. If not, there was at least 5 or 4 there. That's still more than what Disney had, parody-wise. You got a Mel Brooks movie, which, frick yeah, Thumb Wars, yeah, a bunch of stuff. Like, and I have like this video cassette of something that my uncle gave me called Troops, which is like a parody of Cops, the show. So it's another Star Wars parody thing. Rarely get that anymore unless it's from people on YouTube. But that's not like official stuff for the most part. And then I had to bring up the fact that Disney's era of Star Wars barely has scrapes video games when it comes to the Lucasfilm, just the Lucas era. I'm sorry, they barely do. Here's what Disney has. They have this, 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 and then on Battlefront 1, that's like, what is that? One, two, three, four. It's like 5 video games, and then Squadron is 6. Like, what the hell? And then there's Outlaws, I guess is a thing. I don't even remember that coming out, honestly. I forgot that was even a thing. So I would still say 6. And by the way, thanks to this game alone, as well as the companies they choose, Ubisoft, EA, they're just terrible at choosing what companies they want releasing their games. The games they canceled, like 1313. I don't know if the KOTOR remake is canceled, but if it is, or in development hell, thanks, Disney. I know it's not entirely their fault, but they chose these dumbasses, people like this. And because they chose EA to do their Battlefront games, the biggest debacle in video game history happened, and that was the entire thing against like legal battles and stuff that went up against loot boxes. Thank you, Disney. Thank you, EA. You are dumbasses. These games aren't even that amazing. Like the most we get is Fallen Order, that is the best stuff. Other than that, the rest of it just looks nice. The rest of it's garbage, though. I still go back to play the original Battlefront. Here's the Lucas era Star Wars. All of this stuff. Let's see where it hits Disney. There we go. There's Disney. There's your Disney. That's it. That is pretty much it. Like, I don't even know what this stuff is. It's probably older stuff, anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is all older stuff. But they dished out the games. Like, just alone, look at my Steam right here. See all these Star Wars games? These are all the Lucasfilm ones before Disney took over. Before the dark times. Not Stalker. It's from here down to here. Like, goddamn. Look at all those games. They're some of the most well-known games out there, too. From KOTOR the Jedi Academy games, Dark Forces, movie tie-in games. There's even ones that aren't here that I do still own, Republic Commando. Uh, and it's so funny because they didn't nearly release as many like TV shows, but they had one of the best Star Wars shows, which was Clone Wars. I think they also had like a 2D animated version, and I can't remember if Rebels was during that era, but if it was, that kind of counts too. But yeah, like they had some awesome stuff. Frickin' Disney can't help but release some of the worst shows. Like they started out good. You had frickin' Mandalorian. Andor was later, and season 2 of Mandalorian. But then you had Book of Boba Fett, a frickin' mess, and then Obi Wan is even more of a mess. I think even their merchandise isn't bought at nearly as much as like the frickin' Lucas era of stuff. I also forgot Force Unleashed. That's another one. Just like they barely have the power to stand up to what we used to have. And when we got excited, we still had the same excitement for the new Star Wars, which I don't get by Rise of Skywalker. But goddamn, nobody asked for Solo. Nobody gives a crap about the Disney trilogy, at least with brains and common sense. Like, even though we had the same reaction to the prequels, we at least look back on the prequels and I can see them at least having more fan base. I don't see people talking about the Disney Star Wars years from now. Um, I just don't. They're not good enough to be cult movies. They're too popular, and a lot of people do know them to be to even reach the amount of like what a cult movie is. And they're just too clean and safe to be anything special. There's just too much of a cleanness to their Star Wars. I like it dirty and rough around the edges, kind of Star Wars. I don't like the clean, disgusting Star Wars. Oh, I almost didn't see this stuff down here. That's also Star Wars. I got once this giant Star Wars bundle, and these are all the games that it came with. And that's not even all of the games during that era. Oh, they even had crossovers with like Soul Calibur 4 and stuff. um, yeah, I just don't nearly buy as much Star Wars as I used to. I used to love. And Disney is just like I don't know what their end game is. You would think Disney want money. Disney would want money. Why are you losing money then doing stupid? Why are you making stupid? I feel like the character from the Avatar movie. You big baby. If there's one thing I remember from Avatar, it's that freaking dialogue. But goddamn, I just don't care for the new Star Wars stuff. I will go back and watch the old Star Wars stuff. And even with George Lucas messing with the older Star Wars stuff and editing new things in, still didn't stop my love for it. What did is Disney. I don't know if they purposely want to do that, but I don't know why they'd want to do that. They're going to frickin' lose money. Even when, here's the other thing, other problem. Okay, you want to do era of Star Wars fans. First off, if you want to make money, you gotta get your old era of Star Wars fans too. So I don't understand your goal. And the way you're going about trying to get new fans is terrible. Your business decisions are awful. Absolutely freaking terrible. I can't freaking say enough how freaking bad they are. I actually watched a video too that brought out some things I was thinking about for the longest time, and I can't remember the name of the video, but they were talking about why a lot of the lightsaber fights and stuff suck in the newer films and shows because they have these different versions of lightsabers they're using for the choreography or whatever, and it's a lot heavier, so the battles are more weighty, which I can see that working in some cases, but it's called a freaking lightsaber, and the battles suffer because of it, and it sucks. There's also the settings of a lot of the lightsaber fights. A lot of the settings or locations of a lot of the fights freaking suck too. They look ugly. It just sucks. Or just too dark. I don't know. I freaking or the music isn't nearly as epic or amazing as the music we've gotten before, like Duel of Fates and such. Just like wow. Just wow. But they're making terrible business decisions. I understand, like, right now they're trying to appeal, like, for example, they've been making a lot of shows and stuff with girls for girl focus. Okay, fine. Why do your girl characters freaking suck, though? Here's why. You're making them Mary Sues. If you made them deep, thought provoking characters with good character development, which you're not doing, by the way, just look at outside of your Star Wars stuff like Mulan. Oh, she's a really in depth character, isn't she? How do we have characters, female characters, that are more in depth back in the day with freaking, I would even say Wonder Woman now? Well, kind of. I didn't like 84. But still, like, we had her first film. We had freaking Alita Battle Angel. We had freaking, what was the Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver's character. They did a decent job with Alien Romulus. I'm surprised by both Prey and Alien Romulus, as if Disney had nothing to do with those, weirdly enough. But I was surprised by those and thought they were good. But how the frick do they screw up on, like, the Ahsoka show and such? It's like, you need your characters to have more depth than just being, uh, they're tough and have almost no flaws that are relatable, at least. It's like they don't know how to make their characters relatable when they're trying to suck in those audiences. It's like they really are just in it for the money. And once again, like because of how everything is set up and how people are used to things now, it's gonna take a while before people get used to that stuff. So you're still gonna suffer money wise in a big way. So I'm sorry. Either way, you're gonna suffer in the long run, and we're seeing a lot of that. I think the only reason the frickin' Mufasa movie got the money it did, once again, just because there are fans that don't care, that don't really care. They just want something brainless. But I don't think that's why people should go to see that. Sonic 3 did better, and they tried to say Mufasa is doing better. No, it fricking did not. Frick off. Shove it up your ass. Is Wicked Disney? Because why didn't they frickin' talk about that like they did with Mufasa? If that's Disney, maybe it's not. Let me see something here. Oops. Oh my freaking goodness! Stop being dumb. It's probably WB. Okay, I guess I have to do 2024 movie. Okay. Who is the creators of this film? Does it say? Can you tell me? It's probably something to do with see, directed. Where the frick is it? Maybe if I go to IMDb, it'll tell me. No, don't show that in front of my face right now. Okay. I'm guessing it's WB. It's gotta be WB. Okay. I'm not seeing much here. Oh, I didn't know Peter Dinklage was in it. Okay, it's not. I'm not seeing it unless I'm stupid or something. You'd think it'd say it on the poster. Wait, it's got a sing along. Maybe that does mean it's Disney because Disney was the one that I know does that. I don't wanna. I think it is Disney. I think it is Disney. Why aren't they promoting this as much as they did frickin' even though it was in theaters pretty long? Like I remember when they were bragging about their Mufasa movie, but I didn't see much bragging about this unless I missed a lot of that. That's the other funny thing that it's gonna come to. By the way, I've been watching this guy. That it comes to is I feel like even though Joker 2 was freaking garbage, I hate Joker 2. I at least feel like there are more hits from like Paramount and WB that I could give a crap about that I do with Disney. Dave, Dave is Dave and I aren't even paying for Disney Plus anymore. Technically, him we share. We don't give a crap. If we do use Disney Plus, it's just for the old stuff. That's it. Literally, if I had Disney Plus, I would just be like, I'll watch Fox and the Hound or something. None of that remake crap, remake slop. I just don't care. But yeah, they've got the Dune movies. You got the Matt Reeves Batman stuff and the Penguin. Like they got more powerhouses than frickin' Disney, in my opinion, right now, because Disney's powerhouses have become slop. Star Wars, Marvel, the remakes. Like this is probably the closest to a powerhouse. If this is them, I can't remember if it is once again. But yeah, it's frickin' most of their stuff has become slop, and Star Wars is sadly one of them, one of the big ones. They frickin' tore that down. I don't know what their motivations are, but they are stupid as hell. Their motivations. They need to get their crap straight, fix things, get back on track. You dumb thoughts. Come on. I'm sick of your slop. I don't want to be fed any more of your dumbass slop. Like, I went to the store today and I remember seeing some Star Wars Pop Funkos. The only ones not sold is Reva and that one dude from Book of Boba Fett that started that awful sci-fi scooter chase scene. Those are the two Pop Funkos nobody's buying. Their new characters freaking suck. Even when George Lucas had characters that barely had screen time like Darth Maul or Boba Fett, somehow you remembered them. They were well designed, and they did have like books and stuff, as well as the Clone Wars show to make them even bigger characters later. So, like when Disney has a small ass character, you don't give a crap. You don't remember them. You're not going to remember them really. Somehow people remember even my favorite one that they made a joke on Robot Chicken of Prune Face. I forget the name of the actual character, but even I remember him thanks to that one Robot Chicken skit. And I wish there were parodies again of like Star Wars. We don't get that. And if there are, they are probably not nearly as well written as Spaceballs, the frickin' Star Wars Robot Chicken, or the Star Wars Family Guy. They're probably not nearly as good as that stuff or nearly as plentiful. Like they had all that stuff, and yet I don't think fatigue is the only reason we're sick of Star Wars now. I think it's literally that there's bad writing, there's bad characters, the choreography is slower. It's not necessarily that it's bad, it's slower. The weight is actually affecting it in a negative way. There's just various different things. There's not as nearly as many or good video games, and when there is a video game by them, it causes some giant controversy, like the Loot Crate thing. Like that was gigantic. That's still kind of going on. That's still a thing that's hot debate. Like, good job, Disney. You chose EA. EA the most evil freaking assholes. That's what EA stands for, evil assholes. You chose the most evil company to make your Star Wars Battlefront games. You know, Battlefront, one of the most popular freaking series, and you freaking killed it. And then guess what? When you did that recent collection package of the original Battlefront 1 and 2, they were fricked up as well. You fricked those up too. I know it's not entirely Disney's fault, but you definitely chose somebody dumbass to handle it. And they handled it all right. Like they were making a frickin' Lord of the Rings Gollum game or something. What the frick were you thinking, Disney? I'm just sick of your crap. Um, there was one other thing. Oh yeah, I think a good idea. Once again, another better idea that Disney will ever have, and I know it will never fricking happen, is that I've seen Larian bring Baldur's Gate back to life. What if Larian Studios, and I know they probably don't want to because Baldur's Gate 3 was a big deal. What if they made KOTOR 3? What if they made KOTOR 3? Think about that. I feel like Green Goblin. Think about it, hero. No, but that would be freaking awesome. I would love to see that. And I would rather see them make Mass Effect 4 than who is making Mass Effect 4 right now. I have a feeling that's gonna fail. They had three strikes, they're freaking out BioWare. Most of the people who were great working for you go. I bet Exodus would be a game I'd rather check out. That's got some of those devs working on it. But freaking, you had three strikes, you're out. You had Mass Effect Andromeda. It was freaking ass as a Mass Effect game. I know there are people who are fans of it, but they're freaking Zoomers. It doesn't count. And then you got freaking Anthem, freaking ass loot, like freaking looter shooter. That's your second strike. And finally, it was going to be Dragon Age, something Wolf. I can't remember what the frick it was originally titled. Turned out to be Veilguard, and it was like the sequel to Forspoken. Or in this case, we should call it Foreskin or Forgotten. kind of like the kind of like the name. They also killed Indiana Jones too. Like I would rather watch Crystal Skull over the frickin' uh, Dial of Dysentery. Hell, Bethesda made a video game that felt more like or like whatever. I think that was Machine Games, but they made a video game that was more faithful to Indiana Jones than their recent movie. Like, holy crap! This is the one thing we have from Disney. I think. I might be wrong, but this is the one thing from Disney. Oh my gosh. I don't even give them, like, when it comes to Pixar as well, like, Pixar, there's not a whole lot of, like, the last, I thought Luca was fine. Soul was really good. I really love Soul. I even cried during that movie. And Inside Out 2 is alright. I don't care for Moana 2, and I don't want to see more Zootopia, please. Just don't. Zootopia is perfect as is. If you somehow do make a really good Zootopia sequel out of that, then I'll be like, okay, I'll give you a side for this. But everything else is freaking ass. Also, who's making the Labyrinth sequel? Because I heard Labyrinth's getting a sequel, and David Bowie being passed away quite a while back, I don't know how that's going to turn out. I have a feeling it's not going to be great, and you're probably going to pick some sort of pop star that feels a little out of place. I don't know. It's just stupid. I had the same feeling when Beetlejuice came out, but I guess that movie wasn't that bad. I didn't hate that, but the original is better. I'm kind of more of a Zoomer boomer, because technically I'm a Zoomer, but with how I was raised from my grandmother and my mother, I'm more of a boomer. I think more like a boomer. But like I have my times where the Zoomer side of me shows, and then the other times where the Boomer shows side of me shows. I'm a Zoomer boomer, Zaboomer, Bazoomer. But yeah, like I'm just sick of Disney's crap. I miss the Lucas era. I know it wasn't perfect either, but even like their comic books and their books, they shove so much out there that I just don't care. There's at least books and comic books I remember from the Lucas era stuff. I know Lucas wasn't always responsible for every great thing that came out of Star Wars at that time, but it's the reason I call it the Lucas era compared to the Disney era. Because, like, the same thing can be said, like, Disney probably isn't always responsible for every little thing that comes out of Star Wars and how it's done. But still, during your era, you're screwing up more than Lucas was handling his crap. He got his shit together. You don't, for some reason. Not nearly to the same extent. You barely shove out games. There's no such thing as Star Wars parodies anymore, or even specials a lot of the time. Your shows suck. Your movies suck. You only have a handful of good things, and your comic books and books don't remember them. Forgettable. But anyways, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. My thoughts and opinions. I do look forward to. By the way, I am going to be doing today. There it is. There you go. So I got this set up. Half-Life 2 Google Translate. It has Deadwater Gaming and Mahogany in it. So I look forward to doing this. They're some of my favorite YouTubers. And I hope to do that stream soon. I hope you have an awesome day. I just wanted to talk about and rant a little about Disney. Disney's been pissing me off, rightfully so. Their stuff sucks. They don't know how to handle things. It's part of the reason I'm more so looking forward to frickin' DC or Warner Brothers stuff. At least they have powerhouses like Dune and frickin' Matt Reeves' Batman and such. And when the Joker was good, not the sequel to the Joker. That first off, nobody asked for that. Second off, it sucked. And now we know why we didn't ask for it. But yeah, like even though WB is an evil corporate monster disaster of a company, they at least have some things I'm looking more forward to coming out of their company, published under their company or whatever the frick you want to call it. I don't know if they work the same as game companies, but still, just frick Disney. They've literally become numero uno worst freaking movie company. I would rather watch a freaking any other company's movies, even ones within Disney that they own, like Fox. Like Fox literally had like three movies they practically brought back to life with freaking Deadpool, Wolverine, Prey, and Alien Romulus. There was a single other goddamn thing Disney was really doing that was good. And if there was, I probably give more credit to freaking Pixar. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed me ranting here. Let me know what your favorite era of Star Wars is, and why the opposite area you don't like in the comments below. I will see you next time. Bye bye!